Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, I'm Jafar Siddiq and here I am doing my weekly practices again. And the topic for this week is that I have to pick which one is the worst between physical and cyberbullying. So before we get to pick which one is the worst, I think we should know first what is bullying means. So according to Verual Mind, bullying is repeated unwelcome and hostile behavior long links to power imbalance. In other words, bullying means that someone do harmful things to you or to another person, to another one frequently. So since I have to pick one, which one is the worst, I have to know which one is the worst first before I get to pick. But from my experience, I can really tell which one is the worst because I have experienced neither physical nor cyberbullying. I have only experienced verbal abuse. So yeah, let's see the effects first so that I can pick which one is the worst. So let's see at the physical bullying first. According to positiveaction.net, there are some points that listed in an article. So there are low self-esteem, of course. If someone bullies the person, the victim would think that they're not good enough, something like that. And then there is decrease in academic performance, and the victims may avoid participating in class because of fear. Yeah, of course. The victims would feel like if I get into the class or participating in activities in a class, the bullies maybe keep on targeting him, which is the contrary. It means that if the victims doesn't participate in a class, it means that he will labeled as the underachiever, and the bully would keep on targeting him. And the next is can cause emotional distress. Of course, it will, both in physical and cyberbullying. Leads to more negative feelings, thoughts, creating a self-destructive cycle. Yeah, it will, because like I mentioned before, the victims will keep on questioning his very own existence. The victims may develop health issues, absolutely, because the victims would overthink that. And if the physical case, of course, there will always be a physical harassment. And the last is the victims become lost interest in things he or she used to enjoy. He will I'm no longer interested in something that I liked before because he already stressed right now. And yeah, that's all from physical bullying. Now let's see the cyberbullying. According to cyclins.com, there is some several too. The first is the victims grows negative thoughts on their mind, just like previous point in a physical bullying. The next is isolate oneself because you feel like I'm not good enough. For example, if I post a photo on my social media and there's someone bullies me, it's like saying that I'm not good, I'm not beautiful, that I'm too skinny and everything, I'd feel like, oh my god, I am, and I isolate myself so I'm not feel violated and everything. Next is avoid using or answering phone call because he or she is too afraid to answer the calls if the caller is going to harass him or her. Find difficulties performance in school, just like the previous points in the physical bullying. Lost interest, just like previous two. Sleep problems. Yeah, of course, he will keep on overthinking something. In a previous case before, if I am the victims, I would overthink that person comment. The next is anxiety. Of course, both will have anxiety effect on them. And the last is losing self-confidence and self-esteem. Yes, of course, to both. So, I shed a light on both effects of physical and cyberbullying. So, which one is the worst for me? I don't think there is worse or better. I think both are bad thing to do, If I am going to suggest you or tell you which one is the worst, I just suggest you to not do both of them because both have the negative effect. And yeah, I'm just going to say just don't do it. It's like the opposite of the Nike, If Nike says just do it, I would just say don't do it. Don't do it both because maybe you ask, what if I'm the victim? If I were a victim, I would just ignore it. Maybe not everybody just ignore it, but yeah, my suggestion is to ignore it and not do the physical or cyberbullying. That's all from me, I guess. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.